Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Welcome to our third Midweek Wealden.
Well,
yes.
What a month.
Yeah. It's April.
I have no idea.
Good grief. I'm Josie. That's Jim. We're from Hailsham Creative. And we run the Support Wealden initiative. And this Midweek Wealden is online interviews with local people in business. And today we're going to be joined by the lovely Tom Briggs.
See, what you've gone wrong already because look, clearly says.
Oh, that says you.
That says
doing
Jim.
That
bit.
Okay, well we'll just swap those two. Yeah, the lovely Tom Briggs of Diary of the Dad. So we'll talk to him in a little while, and Jim can do the next bit.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with Support Wealden, it's basically a free listings website that we started at a year ago. When we all went into lockdown and businesses were starting to struggle, so we launched a website. And if you'd like to know more about Support Wealden, just go to the website supportwealden.co.uk. Oh, there you go. Look, that's flash. Now we got the big news is in July we're going to do an event. Here, where in our garden, basically, we've got a big lawn, and we're going to be putting up a marquee and inviting people along to just basically a sort of a network. I hate the word networking, actually.
Yeah,
but
well, I also hate the word expo, but it is a mini business expo.
Yeah.
So we've got a marquee for pitches. And
I hate that almost as much as unprecedented.
We don't use that word.
We never use that word.
If you're interested in coming along to that, it's on the 28th of July, and tickets are available on the Support Wealden website. It's free to come along, but you have to register. And if you want to pitch, we're just doing their very affordable pitches.
Yeah, very affordable, and because we don't know how many people are going to be coming, we hope there will be a decent showing, but we're not sure what restrictions are going to be in place and so on.
And it's the first time we've done it, so it's an experiment.
Yeah, so that's on the 28th of July, 2 to 5 p.m. So hope to see you there. Now, shall we? Before we bring Tom in, we're going to be talking to Tom about his blog, Diary of the Dad, sorry. And then before we say goodbye to Tom, we're going to be, it's probably a little bit self-indulgent in a way, because with our other hat on, our music hat on, we are a band called Milton Hyde. But incidentally to that, a friend of ours who put a lovely video together displaying some wonderful, wonderful photographs of Horham. Put one of our songs as a soundtrack to it, so we're going to be playing that.
It's a lovely thing to watch. And
every month we feature another sort of music video by local artists, but this is more of a local connection. So without further ado, we're going to bring Tom Briggs into the studio. He's been writing his blog for over 10 years now. And if you have any comments or questions for Tom, just put them into the comments box on Facebook, and hopefully we can talk to you later. So put your virtual hands together for Mr. Tom Briggs. There he is.
Hi guys, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
Looking good. It looks a bit sunny there.
It is at the moment.
It's always sunny in Bolgate.
Pretty soon it'll go the other side of the house and it'll be wintry in here again.
Oh.
Yeah. There we are.
We were talking earlier about the state of your bookcase behind you. The fact that you have no books there.
So this is my office. It's also a kind of casual dumping ground for obsolete furniture. So, hopefully there'll be a lot of households that have got situations like that, and it's not just me who hasn't yet got round to getting rid of it or putting things in it. So there we are.
You definitely need to put some stuff in that bookcase.
Yeah.
Well, we're very much looking forward to the charity shops opening up, so we can change our wardrobe.
They are going to be inundated, aren't they?
We've got bags of stuff, and just off camera, bags of stuff waiting for them to open. And
I presume they are.
Give them a few days head start to clear the backlog.
We're not going to bombard them.
Yeah.
So, Diary of the Dad. Just tell us a little bit first about what's your history with writing before you started doing the diary?
Sure. So I did train as a journalist. So I started my career as a magazine journalist on some very niche titles, and they were kind of woodworking magazines, and there was an organic one. And then I went to work for Cats Protection on their magazine called The Cat.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I've actually got a very proud distinction. I've actually worked on 2 magazines that have been the guest publication on Have I Got News for You.
Oh,
Anyone else has got 2 yet. So
no, that's real kudos.
that's I mean, forget the blog. That's been the pinnacle of my career.
So which ones were they? Were they the Cat?
The Cat was one, and the other one was the Router, which hilariously, W.H. Smith kept ordering it for its computer section because electronic ordering, they thought it was the router. And you'd always go there and you look in the computing magazines. And once I was actually on the cover of it, and there was me using a router in amongst all these computing magazines. Great fun.
That's the American Dictionary.
Yeah.
So that's not your only claim to fame. You've also won some awards, haven't you, for your blog?
Yeah. Surprisingly, that still surprises me. Within my first full year of blogging, I've won an award at some parenting blog awards. Got that for best baby blog. Actually, I haven't got it here on purpose. It's just because this is a dumping ground. I use it as a paperweight. There we are.
Oh, look at that.
The first award I won.
Excellent.
Very good.
And got another one a few years later for a podcast I did with a bunch of other dad bloggers. And then, 2 or 3 years ago, won at the Sussex Digital Awards. So, it's nice to get those awards. But, the best thing out of blogging really is the opportunities it's opened up for me.
Yeah.
I've met all kinds of amazing people. I've done some absolutely bizarre things I never thought, never dreamt I would have done, and it's kind of helped me career-wise as well. So really glad.
How did you actually start then, Tom?
So I wanted. I'd become a dad a couple of months beforehand for the first time. I had this idea that there might be a gap in the market for a book for dads or expectant dads. Spoiler alert, there wasn't a gap in the market. I had just done my research, I was sleep deprived. But I thought, this newfangled thing of blogging, that might be a good way of piloting content, see whether people actually like what I say. And it was just one of those kind of like new hobbies that you don't give up on. It's just one that's really stubborn and sticks with you and still there 10.5 years later. So it just took on a life of its own. People, actually started reading it other than my parents. Some of
it is absolutely hilarious. I mean, we've got 3 kids, and it can definitely relate to a lot of the stuff that you come up with. Yeah,
it's I guess that's what the appeal is for people. I don't know. I mean, I just write what I want to write. But I always think of it as belonging to my family first and foremost. I won't put anything on that'll embarrass people in the family, I won't embarrass them now. It might when they're older, but if you're watching this in the future and you're a best man or a maid of honor, check out the blog. There might be some. But it's just something I enjoy doing. It's why I've kept at it, I guess.
And you've, through doing it, you now review products and services as well. And what I've prepared a question here. What's the most unusual thing you've had to review?
Oh God, I've reviewed so many things. The most unusual, I reviewed a moisture meter once, so that was quite bespoke. But our old house was it had a bit of a mold problem. I can say that now we've sold it and we've moved out a year ago. But we tackled it, we dealt with it, and the moisture meter was it was useful. And
do you know what? I got that completely wrong. I thought that was something to do with like Metro Man and like moisturising. So do I need more moisturiser?
That's something I need to start doing, Jim.
How dry is my skin?
How dry is my wit?
And how involved do your kids get in what you write? Do they help? I know they're your inspiration, but do they ever say, "Write this, Dad"?
Now and then, and sometimes I say, take a photo of this, put it on your blog. But I think as they get older and they start to become self-conscious, they kind of don't want to be involved as much, and that's totally fine. So I'm kind of in the process to veering over to being more generic about parenting and nothing, not really putting anything specific on there in case it embarrasses them. But sometimes there are collaborations with the brands that they want the kids to be involved, and they're normally happy to be involved because they normally get stuff out of it. So little cynics.
That's some exciting stuff.
And in blogging in general, do you feel that's? I mean, I know nothing about sort of blogging and I know that lots of people do it. Do you think there are more people doing it now than a few years ago? Because it was like lots of people were following blogs. So is that sort of starting to tail off, or is it still as popular as ever?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tailing off a bit, but I think it's definitely still got a place. I mean, people still do read blogs, and you're noticing more businesses finally getting onto the kind of like blogging bandwagon. And I always encourage businesses, if they don't have a blog yet, to get one. You don't have to write one every week or anything, but it just adds an extra layer to your kind of like brand persona.
I think a lot of businesses.
I think people really relate to that. So, I mean, they'll always have their places. There was certainly a very big boom in blogging. I mean, after I started, I was one of the very first dad bloggers, and now there are loads.
Businesses get confused between blog and news, don't they? If they'll put a blog on their website, and it will be some sort of installation that they've just done or something. But blogging is a lot more general than that, isn't it? It can be
a mix, can't it?
It can be a mix.
It can. I mean, people will find their best way of using it, the best way for themselves. I mean, that's part of blogging itself anyway. You've got to kind of like find your niche. I mean, in my case, I was quite lucky because my niche was already there. I was a male parent blogger, and there were hardly any of them. So, boom, niche sorted. So, but you've got to find a kind of like niche. That's something that's, for want of a better word of putting it, your kind of unique selling point. Just being you, really.
And you got noticed as well, didn't you? Because you were you've done several interviews on the BBC and radio, and I don't know, other places. So how does somebody get their blog noticed?
I don't know really. I mean, because I've been blogging for so long, and dad bloggers, they are still very much in the minority when they want the parents' point of view. And they think, we ought to have a dad for this one. We haven't had a dad for a few weeks. I think I'm going to stand out more than a mum blogger of the same kind of like tenure, because just because we're more in the minority. But I suppose the longevity of the blog that kind of shows people that this guy's going to turn up and he's not going to say anything stupid on air and so on. So I don't know. I guess it kind of works out from being in the minority, I suppose.
Having a niche.
Tom, we're going to let you go for a few minutes, and
then we'll bring you back.
We'll bring you back in like magic, and we'll see you in a tick. Hang on, let's take it out.
See you in a bit.
Screen. So Tom will be back in a few minutes. So we're going to just take a break and play a little video that some of our music was used for. Now, if you're a musician in the kind of the Wealden area or with Wealden connections, and you've got a video that you'd like to share with us, to share with the nation, with the world, drop us a line, info at supportwealden.co.uk, and we'd be really, really happy to share it. This video was it's a collection of photographs from of Horham, and they were put together with this music by a friend of ours, Bob Melrose, and the photographs are from the Bernard Barrows family, and they're really, really special. You can find this on YouTube. So let's play it. And I think it was put together in conjunction with Horham Parish Council as well.
Horham.com.
Sun comes up and the sun goes down. Looks the same in every town. Tide goes in and the tide goes out. Started to wonder what it's all about. Home is where you don't ask why. Home is where there ain't no lie. Travel the world and 7 seas. Home is where your heart is. Seen the world in 1,000 ways. I've been looking for a purple haze. I don't care if it's foul or fine. I'm coming home to a heart that's mine. Home is where you don't feel lost. Home is where you feel loved most. Travel the world in 7 seas. Home is where your heart is.
Completely shameless plugging of our band there.
Why not?
But there were some brilliant photographs, and I really, really like the ones of Horham Station and remembering that, the Bluebell walk, not the Bluebell walk,
the Cuckoo
Trail was, of course, it really brings it home that it was actually an actual railway.
It wasn't always just a walk and a cycle path. It was a railway. So I'm going to bring Tom back in for a chat now.
There he is. He's back in the room.
There you go.
Hey, love your song, guys. It's really good.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, weren't some of those pictures gorgeous? I love the one. There was a whole group of people with somebody holding a baby up here that would just look like a big white cloud. The amount
Yeah.
of clothes it had on.
Yeah, and there was like a family and and then a bloke is like standing there with a rifle next to this sort of family. It's like-
I also like the one with one of the kids was pretending to drive the car, and then some of the kids who couldn't fit in the car in a pram next to it as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, some lovely photos
Yeah.
there. It's good to see
they're gorgeous,
what it
aren't
used to be like.
Yeah.
It's like health and safety gone mad now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to walk around with a rifle anymore. I don't know. Kids
Why-
driving.
why-
Mind you, there are plenty of kids driving cars. It's true.
I watched that on. It's on YouTube. If anybody else wants to watch it again, if you watch it on YouTube and then go on to the next video, there's some lovely old footage for sort of I don't know what, probably 50s onwards,
Oh yeah,
cine
yeah.
films.
Some really good stuff, isn't there?
Of horror.
It's all by the same. It's all the same collection, isn't it? The same guy. Yeah, do it.
check that
I mean,
out as well.
because Horum, you think? Sorry, Tom.
That's
we're on
okay.
a bit of a Horum gig now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is.
loving for Horham.
But you tend to think of it as just a place you drive through, but
Well,
without
we do
thinking,
because we're always sort of heading off to
Yeah.
somewhere just north of Horham.
you don't
but-
think of it as kind of a destination because it's had the Merrydown connection
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff. It was, it wasn't just a place on a road. It was a definite, definite location. You
And
know,
there are lots of businesses in Horham as well.
there are, yeah.
So,
Right,
Yeah.
enough Horum, I think.
back to the Diary of the Dad. So, what's the future for the blog, Tom? Because
Well-
your kids are going to be growing up. What's
They
gonna
are. They
happen?
are. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a timeline in mind for it. I'm just going to do what I've always done and wing it.
Yeah.
That's been my mantra for life in general, really. I mean, definitely with parenting. Just wing it, don't you?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of an extension of the parenting because it's kind of writing about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think the thing is, I'm somebody who's always going to want to write things and be compelled to write things. So I don't know if it gets to the point where the kids say, all right, Dad, enough, you stop writing about us. Then I don't know. I'd have to look at changing name and write about something else. But
Yes,
yeah.
it could be Diary of the Granddad.
it could be, yeah. We'll end up with the
Eventually.
longest running blog ever.
Actually,
But
sorry.
I was going to say, but that's the joy of the blog, isn't it? Because it's that's how it came about. It's you're not an amateur writer; you're a professional writer, but essentially, it's amateur people just expressing themselves,
Blogging,
isn't it?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is totally the joy of it, isn't it? And the success of it. Why
Yeah.
it's so popular.
Yeah, and I would say many of the best bloggers, they don't have a background in writing at all. I mean, you do get quite a lot, particularly with dad bloggers, weirdly, that have got some backgrounds in writing. But some of the best ones that I've read, they haven't had a particular background in writing. They just felt compelled to write, and people relate to it, and that's a strength. So
And what blogs do you follow apart from woodworking tools?
I should have started following them. Now I've got like DIY to get my new house. I just generally read other, probably mostly other dad blogs. Really, I've got a full-time job now, unfortunately, so I don't get as much blogging time as I used to. But yeah, generally stuff by other parents just to see whether they're going through similar things or. Just reading their take on, sometimes people have different takes on different things that are in the news, and it's just quite interesting. It's a nice way of complementing the news as well, because I mean, I tend to gravitate to reading news stories related to parenting, and then finding blogs, seeing how they've addressed it, and it's kind of interesting just to have different points of view, really.
Blogging community.
Yeah, I mean, there's an absolutely massive parent blogging community. I think there must be getting on for about 10,000. So, yeah,
Wow.
lots of them.
And is it completely linked with social media as well? That if you blog, then you have to be sort of connected in social media some way?
You don't have to be. I mean, I've really dialed down my use of social media. I shouldn't say this as we're live on social media, but I've really dialed down my use of social media in the last year or so, because I haven't always had something to say. I think, well, there's no point me going on and saying something if I can't really think of anything.
You say it in your blog, don't you?
Yeah, I say it in the blog. Yeah, I mean, I share the blog on Facebook and Twitter, and I do try and get on. Well, mostly on Twitter, really, for chatting to other parent bloggers and that. But they're not mutually exclusive, but it is pretty important. If you want to make a real splash with blogging, you've got to be on social media.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it just depends why you're doing it, doesn't it? If you literally just want a reason to put finger keyboard and express yourself, you don't really, you want one or two people to read it and get something out of it, but that's, I guess, for some people that's not really why they do it. It's a bit like, it's why I started writing songs. It wasn't really to play them to anybody, it's just literally to express myself, and I think it's probably the same with blogging, I suspect.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, with me, I mean, I've gone full circle. The blog was a full-time job for 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So I had to be on social media then, because when I was doing brand collaborations, they were saying, well, your deliverables are a blog post, 3 tweets, 2 Facebook posts, YouTube video. They would insist on all of those things. And of course, you've got to be keeping up a presence every day, writing some witty observation about parenting every day. So you've got your stuff that isn't from a brand collaboration as well, just to keep your presence up and just to try and be seen in the mystery algorithm that is Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, those mystery magical things flittering around that are algorithms. And that was alongside being a full-time dad as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was fortuitous really that I was able to kind of go full-time. So at the time I was in a job that I really hated. And they were offering me another year. I'd done a year's contract and they offered me another year. And I thought, I don't want to stay there because it was making me stressed and making me ill. And my youngest was on the way. I thought, you know what, I'm just going to knock this on the head and go and just see whether I can make a living out of blogging for a bit. Yeah. And it lasted 4 years. So
excellent. In a way, that's really good.
I had a 4.5 year self-funded paternity leave, which was quite nice.
Oh, what a brilliant time to be with your kids as well.
Yeah, it's a time you never regret.
No.
Tom, thanks so much for joining us. That was a lot of fun. That was really interesting.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you again. We haven't seen you for a long time.
It's been way too long. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in person again, hopefully soon.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be out with the band sometime.
It's funny how the screen lies, though. I mean, it makes us look as though we've got grey hair and that. It's strange, isn't it?
It's doing that down here on me as well.
That old
pesky Facebook algorithm. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We must remove that old dude filter.
Yeah, that's it.
See you later.
So we're going to say goodbye to Tom, and it's lovely to talk to you, Tom.
See you later, Tom.
See you soon.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, that was lovely. That was Tom Briggs. I'm just going to put his name up again.
The Diary of the Dad. Is it Diary of the Dad?
It's on the screen.
Oh, there it is, right there, scrolling across my chest as we speak.
So join us next month. Do you remember who our guest is next month?
Not a clue.
April, May.
I know.
I can look it up.
Well,
I should have made a note.
I know that we've got. I know who is joining us at some point in the future, and that's Sam Spires, and it might even be Sam next month.
No, I think Sam is joining us in June.
June, okay.
In May, I think it is.
Look at those viewer figures dropping as we speak. Nothing to do with Emma.
Emma of Bramley Business Solutions.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So, yes, I will double check that. But we'll put the details up on the Support Wealden website. And
what date will that be?
It will be the middle of the month.
It'll be the closest Wednesday to the middle of the month. So it's always that closest Wednesday to the middle of the month. It's always the middle of the week on the Wednesday. and it's always the middle of the
Yeah,
day
it's
ish,
nearly-
12:30.
Nearly midday, midweek, nearly mid-month. So
Yeah,
there you go.
which matches our midlife crisis.
So if you're interested in booking tickets for the actual meetup on the 28th of July, they're free, but you do need to book. You need to go to ticketsource.co.uk/Pickham's, and that's the venue.
And yeah, we didn't say where that was. You may not know, but we are near Arlington, which is about 3 or 4 miles outside of west of Howsham.
Yes.
If you're not familiar, most people will know of Arlington Speedway, and that's nowhere near us, but it's all in the same parish.
Yeah. Okay,
I think that's us, isn't it?
that's us done.
Right, let's do this. So thanks for joining us today, and look forward to catching up in May, and stay safe until then. And thanks to Tom,
Yeah.
thanks to Bob for letting us use the video, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Which one is it now? It's that one.